enterprise resource planning. Sometimes it doesn't always resonate, we're pretty technical people. The data movements that they needed to take care of in their integration, in the automation of that data movement, was orders and orders changes, shipments, product and price, customer creation, inventory updates, invoice, on and on and on. If you're a business owner, I'm sure this all sounds very familiar. So, there's going to be a lot of clicking here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, they have their e-commerce cart, their ERP, hold on, go back a little bit, and the e-commerce marketplace. This is what they needed to fulfill. I'm going to break it down step by step. So, you've got customer create. Somebody buys something from your Shopify store. That data needs to go automatically to the ERP. If you make a change in the ERP, that needs to go back into Shopify Plus. Next. After that, you have orders. Orders taken from the Shopify Plus support need to be pushed over into the ERP, so you have all that information about that customer and that order over there. Next. Order changes. If there's something that needs to be edited with the order, if the customer reaches out and say, oh, I put in my credit card number wrong or my shipping address has changed, you need to be able to make that change either in the ERP or the e-commerce cart, and it needs to be everywhere, no matter if you change it on the left or the right. That data needs to be normalized and standardized across the board. Next. Order changes. Shipments, so if you get a shipment notification, your 3PL or your solution on the other end notifying you that, yeah, it's in transit, good to go, you need to be able to notify Shopify, so Shopify can then notify the customer if they log in to track their shipment. Next. Price, again, if you make a change to the price, you have a sale on an item, that needs to be reflected in your Shopify store automatically. You should be making these changes over in the ERP instead of in every single different channel that you sell through. Inventory updates, very important. Have you ever sold something where you didn't actually have it in one of your warehouses? That's a tough conversation to have with one of your customers because they're not understanding at that point. They've already paid for their good. You need to have your inventory numbers correct. Invoices, so all the invoicing needs to be pushed over into Shopify Plus automatically. And the last one for this one, product, okay? Product information, if you change information on a pair of shoes that you're selling, that needs to be able to be pushed over to Shopify Plus and all of your other channels. Change it in one place, gets pushed out everywhere else. So for the e-commerce marketplace, what they needed to take care of were orders, obviously same kind of flow coming from the e-commerce cart up to the ERP, so everything's stored in a central master brain for your business. And then shipment, invoice, inventory price, all that good information needs to flow back down to the e-commerce marketplace. One more click. That's everything that they needed to take care of. Pretty complex, right? One more slide. When we go in and we actually sit down with a customer, this is what it actually looks like. Just for a little bit of context, we've removed a lot of different specific industry stuff from here, so it's very simplified still. But you sit down across from somebody who's looking to do all these integrations, all these flows, plus apply those business rules so they don't have to manipulate that data at either end. This is kind of what comes out as a first step. So this customer, they went with a different integration strategy. They went with a custom code solution provided by a third party that said, yeah, no problem, I can do it, no problem. What happened is they acquired this new brand recently for the static DIY solution, the custom coded solution. What they needed to do to integrate that new brand into the whole system of other integrations that they had already built for them was create an entire new data integration workflow from scratch. They had to start everything over again because it was like a new customer had just walked in the door. With an agile solution, something that, people specialize, they do this day in, day out, they know what they're doing, they've got the right technical tools in their tool bag. For us, when we came on the scene, all we had to do is duplicate a different workflow. That application-specific workflow, we just implemented it. It took maybe a day or two to get the work done, and it was up and live, and that's it. Welcome to the company. Go back. They also needed to change the ship method. So as a business, you might need to change, 3PL suppliers, logistics, you're going with UPS over FedEx, whatever the case is. You need to be able to agilely respond to that change in your business. For the static solution, again, they had to rebuild that workflow to get it to work. You change the ship method, we've got to start from scratch and build it all over again. For VL, a more agile solution, because we've got, again, the right tools in our toolbox, it just required us changing a few parameters, literally a couple of fields in the back end for our system. Took about 20 minutes to do, a little bit of testing, done. And the last one here, applying business rules. Again, this is the stuff that matters to your business. I need this piece of data treated this way. I need this piece of data to be treated another way, okay? The static solution, again, because it's static, it doesn't bend with pressure, didn't work for that. They were having to manually manipulate data on either end. For us, what we do is the integration, connect the two applications together, or however many applications it is in there, and then we have business rules, our customers' business rules applied to that data transformation as it's in transit, if you can imagine that. So nothing needs to be changed on either end once everything's said and done. Next. So it's really about agility. Being able to grow with Shopify Plus. Shopify Plus is, all of you know, is a great product. It gives you all the tools at hand. But if you're not manipulating the great data, the great value that can come out of Shopify, and you're not able to respond and run with changes in the market quickly, you're going to be behind the game. You're leaving yourself vulnerable to competition, essentially. Your integrations should not dictate how you run your business. If you're sitting down with somebody who says that they can provide an integration solution, and don't worry, I got it, no problem. But we can't work with this application because we don't know how to work with their API. And by the way, you're going to need to do this over here so that we can do things right. And maybe don't buy that product over there, or that application, because it's a little challenging for us. You're changing your business to fit the integration solution. Shouldn't be that way. You don't have to change your business to work with Shopify Plus. Why would you change it for your data integration solution? Applications that we work with, if it's not in our suite, what happens is we come to our customer, we talk to them about the application they're looking to integrate, what they're looking to do with the data that comes in and out of it, and then we get the API documentation. That's why a good API is better than a bad API. Redundant. Sorry, you had a follow-up question?
Follow up with one more question.
Yes.
So the one thing that we find is that it's not about the API or the webhook, it's actually about the data. How do you coach customers on that?
Yeah. We're not in the business of data cleansing. Shopify has a lot of great plugins that will help you cleanse your data at the point of entry for the customer side of things. You can also get third-party solutions like Canada Post offers data cleansing, address cleansing, that kind of stuff too. There are people that we can recommend too. We don't actually store the data, we don't cleanse the data. Your data is your data at the end of it. If we can't work with it, we'll definitely advise you in which direction you can go to. But the quality of the API and data side is the end-all be-all. If you can't work with the application, if you can't pull out the data, and not QuickBooks. QuickBooks is a great application, but that's one that we won't work with because moving the data in and out of that application for us in the complex ways that our customers need with the business rules applied to it, it just doesn't work that way. It tends not to be our customer.
So with that being said, let's say you're going with QuickBooks or any other ERP.
Yeah. I wouldn't call QuickBooks an ERP, but
yeah,
go on.
Regardless of the service, you're talking about a bilateral on everything for middleware, and you're also suggesting that you're not a third party. So you are a third party.
We're more of a middleware than anything else. Like, we do have a dashboard. We're actually going to be launching it at IRC, where we're going to be at Shopify Plus in a few weeks' time. If you want to come by and take a look, if you happen to be in Chicago. We don't store the data, we just don't manipulate the data other than what the data is, transforming it. If you think applications talk different languages, so you have English over here, French on the other side, let's keep it nice and Canadian. This application doesn't speak French, so VL in the middle, we sit, we translate it, the language into French so that application understands it, and then vice versa. Okay.
All right, everyone give it up for Jessica from VLI. All right, next presenter is Rob from Recharge. Very excited. Just quickly get it all set up.
Want a beer?
All right, everyone, we'll just give everyone a minute just to grab another drink, grab some sandwiches, some assorted desserts. Yum. All right.
Isn't Kevin so good?
Steph? For some reason, I started the broad version. And then he said that the recording is still going well, so you could say like recording the content.
All right, everyone, if we want to go ahead and take our seats, we're going to get started with our next presentation. All righty, slowly but surely. All right. The food is that delicious. People just keep on going back for it, or it could be the beer. Okay, everyone, so for our next presentation, we're going to give it up to Rob from Recharge. So feel free to take your seats, a little bit of silencio, and we'll go from there.
Hi everyone, my name is Rob. I'm from Recharge. We're the subscription billing platform for Shopify. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what we're seeing in trends for subscriptions and also getting yourself set up and best practices. I look into partnerships at Recharge, so I work closely with teams like Sovi to get plus merchants up and running with Recharge in complex fashions. So these are some of the brands we work with. We've been with Shopify now for around 2.5 to 3 years. We're in a very close, very direct relationship with them, and a number of successful merchants, over 7,000 at the moment, and a couple of hundred plus level merchants of those. So let's take a quick look at the subscription economy itself, to get an understanding of what we're talking about here. A big thing to note is this is not a new concept. 79% of us have a subscription of some form, be it gym, magazine, Netflix, whatever it may be. And if you break that down again further to millennials, that number becomes 92%. So it's a very prevalent channel. And e-commerce is starting to now pick up on this and bring it into that flow as well. And 12% of our disposable income goes through onto subscriptions as well. So a lot of value there. And if you look at the LTV and CPA of, we can look at the value of a subscriber versus a one-time purchaser. So value of a one-time customer is, well, if they come back more than twice, then they're 3 times. And for a repeat customer, if they come back more than 3 or 4 times, their value is 7. So from a CPA, LTV perspective, this is very important to think about. So subscriptions, again, we said they're not new. Everyone's familiar with them, everyone pretty much has one, but they typically been the mainstay of gyms, magazines, large services. And in Europe, particularly direct debit, ACH has been dominant. We haven't seen much in the way of credit cards at all. And typically they're very inflexible and very opaque for subscribers. So if you try and cancel your gym membership, it's not usually an easy process, there's lots of barriers to entry, and you have no idea what's going on effectively. So what's changing? A big thing is it's now accessible to everybody. If you're Shopify, Recharge, you no longer have to spend tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars building out a custom subscription or recurring billing tool. All the tools are there for you, accessible and very, very cheap. We're also transparent and flexible. So again, we're not in a situation where subscribers are the ones out of control. We're giving them the control back. So we work closely with Shopify's account system, for example. So as a customer, you can log into your storefront, manage, cancel, skip, change, completely own your subscription that you have yourself. And it's easy and secure. You're not going through your direct debit ACH setup. It's typically now a credit card. So very easy, very low barrier to entry, same checkout flow environment, very comfortable for the customer. And we also can have benefit from the credit card industry itself. So they have relationships with the card manufacturers and providers, so Amex, MasterCard, Visa, etc. And they will update the tokens on their side before the customer gets their brand new card. So again, you're not looking at churn anymore. You have the same stability of ACH direct debit with the flexibility of a credit card. So why are things changing? Big thing is demand for convenience. We're seeing millennials now, 92% have a subscription. They don't want to go around rebuying product every month, couple of months. They want it to be easy, fast, quick. And merchants have more data. Typically with things like Shopify, you have additional applications out there. You have a much better idea and view into your customer base. You know what would work on a subscription basis or not, and you can start to leverage that forward. That's a clear value proposition. Again, this idea of bringing that 7 times value in, automating that process. It's very easy for the customer, very easy for the merchant to get hold of. But again, as I said, it's not a new concept, but it's only recently appeared in subscription into the e-commerce economy. So in 2010, we had trends like Birchbox appear. 2011, Amazon comes along and launches Subscribe and Save on around 12% of their product base. Typically consumables, so toothpaste, supplements, coffee, things like that. And in 2016, we fast forward a little bit. Unilever buys Dollar Shave Club for $1 billion. This is a company selling razor blades on a monthly basis. At that point, we really start to see the economy shake itself up, wake, and realize what's going on. And in 2016 again, we see a very different form of subscription appear with Apple's upgrade plan. So you pay every month and get a new phone every year. It's important for a couple of reasons. One, again, it's not your traditional subscription model of getting a new product every month. You're just paying upfront for something in a year's time. But from Apple's perspective, they're not waiting for you to renew your phone in 13, 14, 15 months' time. They guarantee you in 12 months' time, new product. Inventory forecasting is easy. They know what they have to sell in a year's time. They can then start to leverage their suppliers, get better deals because they know exactly what they have to sell. And in 2017, we're seeing a lot of movement in non-consumable products, so looking at very much product-driven, community-driven products instead. So let's talk a little about those. So on the left here, these are the typical types of products you'd expect to see on subscription, so juice, supplements, things like that. Then on the right here, we see consumer-driven products. So these are products you wouldn't typically expect to buy on a regular basis. So golf clothes, a Nickelodeon box, for example. But these are models where they have a very strong community base, a very strong link between customer and the product itself. And so that's where they can sort of leverage and build out a subscription business in a non-usual environment. So let's take a look at the golf clothes company you mentioned there. I mean, we were surprised when they first signed up thinking who's going to buy $100 worth of golf product every month. But they're a huge client of ours now with 100% month-on-month growth. And a lifetime value between 6 to 9 months. So every customer that comes through will stay with them between 6 and 9 months. So again, that lifetime value is huge. And as part of that, they're one of the fastest growing companies in the golf area. But then we can also look at the typical model. So Clearly Filtered is one of our water filter products. We have a number of these, as you can imagine. 70% of the transactions they process are free recharge, so they're all subscription, or the vast majority, sorry. And 50% of any new customers will automatically opt into a subscription versus a one-time purchase. And as part of that, when they first launched the recharge, in the first 90 days, $100,000 came through. So again, high growth, high retention, and a critical part of our business. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the so let's talk about actually that lifetime value part of things. One thing to note is we're seeing the leveraging relationships. Again, you're moving away from the transactional model. The customer comes, buys once, disappears. They're now with you for a period of time, between 6 to 9 months, for example. Your touch points are a lot more prevalent. You have a lot more opportunity to discuss things with them, get to know them, or build a better, stronger relationship on top of that. And you can reward them as well. So we're seeing a lot of unification across one-time and recurring. So if you have a loyalty solution in place, such as Sweet Tooth, for example, one of our partners, then you can use those points across both subscription, one-time, and make sure your customers are happy with the experience across all parts of your business. And flexibility. A crucial part to making sure you're reducing churn is giving your customers the options we spoke about earlier. So those customer account portals. It sounds counterintuitive, allowing people to skip change delivery dates and on vacation, for example, it stops them cancelling. It gives them that level of trust in you as a merchant that they can be in control themselves. And let's talk about the cost per acquisition. So actually getting people to become a subscriber versus a one-site purchaser. And as we're all probably very aware, optimization, conversion is incredibly hard. And it gets a lot harder when you start to get people to trust you, to give you their credit card, and lock themselves into a subscription for indefinite amount of time. So the crucial point here is education, is explaining and showcasing those portals where people can go in and letting them know that they're not signing up for a gym membership for 2 years they'll never use and never be able to get out of. They're signing up for a product with you as a merchant, and you're giving them the complete control and flexibility to cancel, skip, and change if they want to. Personalization is a crucial part as well. Again, we're talking about this idea of a relationship. You can start to get to know your customers better. You can start to get a better discovery model as well. So a good example of this I like to see is with coffee merchants. Rather than expecting their customers to come along to the store, identify the product they want, they say, no, we'll change that. We'll help you discover the products you want. We'll advise you, consult you. So they'll take them through a flow. Dark, light roast, medium, light grind. How often do you drink coffee? And then from that, they can give them a personalized view, product offering that's that's ideal for them. It'll give them a better trust in you as a merchant, and also, again, reduce churn because you know the product they're getting is what they actually want. And community is huge as well. So leveraging your online and offline communities, we see some great work again with loyalty tools, referral tools, and also offline with the Short Par 4 golf company, for example. They're really leveraging their offline communities because the product they're offering might not necessarily make sense to try and offer through online. They're keeping something in a golf club to tell their friends about their 10% off deal, things like that. That can really work as well. So as a quick recap, what can we look at when subscriptions are value to you as a merchant? One obviously is loyalty and retention. You're getting people to stick with you for a definite amount of time. Increased lifetime value, that's just huge. Inventory forecasting, again, this is something we see particularly with plus merchants where there's that level of maturity in there. If you know exactly what's shipping out next month, 3 months' time, or you can help forecast that a little bit better, you can optimize your warehousing, fulfillment, all that becomes a lot easier. Sales diversification. If you're running a product where it's a merchant-curated box, for example, you can start getting rid of product that's just lying around, like reaching expiration, coming out of date, out of trend, things like that, you can move them on. But also, you have that relationship with your subscribers. You know what they currently like, what they're currently buying every month. You have a new product offering, you can cohort analysis and push that product to the right people at the right time, bring them into that flow. Compelling consumer value. So as a consumer, you're not having to set up a direct debit or ACH. It's just your credit card. They have the trust in you as a merchant. They can change things, skip, cancel, and also it's just easy. Every month they get their product, it arrives on their doorstep, done. And again, it's accessible. We're not asking people to do anything different. It's just going through a normal checkout flow, but just saying, hey, I actually want to do this on an automated basis more regularly. So that's it. Any questions at all? Anything that anyone wants to raise?
I got a couple questions. On the education side, how do you make it clear to people at the point of purchase that this is very reversible and flexible?
Sure. So the question there for anyone on live stream was how to optimize the education part on the product page. So we do this by default with a hover over widget that shows up, explains the process in kind of top level terms. But then we allow full flexibility on our product page. If you want to enter in your own details, you can explain the process for cancellation, for example. Showcasing that portal, explaining it's part of that customer account, that's really valuable. So just building that trust and explaining the feature set succinctly, ideally as well.
Cool. If I can ask another one real quick.
Sure.
About inventory forecasting. So I can see how it would give you some data for sure, but isn't there would it only be maybe a smaller piece of the whole puzzle because you're still going to have probably the majority at launch purchasing. I'm just trying to understand how you can get a significant amount of data to, you obviously know that you've got some essentially, pre-orders, kind of? Is that how you think about it? Yeah.
So the question again was around the imagery forecasting side of things. So with that, we have recently opened up our APIs, which are a great way for you to dynamically pull information into third-party tools to understand, again, effectively what your next order would be. So for next month, obviously, mitigation with churn and cancel, credit cards failing, etc., things like that. But it's more of an indication. So you know that they might have 1,000 boxes of this product to send out. So you can start to make sure that product's in place, or not in place as the case may be. If you know that you're not having a fresh batch of orders in for 3 months' time, you can hold off on purchasing and buy when it's appropriate for you. So it's more of an indication than a truly accurate forecast.
Do you or will you have the ability for a customer to choose their type of subscription?
Sure, so the question there is around allowing customers to choose their subscriptions. So yeah, it's full flexibility. We defer back to the Shopify products you have in place, and then we allow you to specify they're going to be a one-time subscribe and save style model or default subscription. And then it just goes to the normal Shopify storefront. So for discovery, that can be customized, but the customers basically pick products that you've offered on subscription and then opt into different frequencies if needs be, things like that. So they're in control even from step one.
Is there a need to make secondary subscription products, or are they product then adding the subscription service to it?
So the question is having multiple products for one product. It's all unified, so we have the one that we rely on Shopify there for that one product, for inventory, things like that.
One more question for the time being.
Rob, are there specific industries or merchants that you've seen subscriptions be really successful with?
So the question there is around which verticals successful for subscriptions. Obviously consumables are fantastic, so supplements, coffee, etc. But we are also saying anywhere where there's a strong community in place that you can leverage, that's where there's a big area for growth and development. So again, the golf example is a fantastic showcase of that.
Alrighty, everyone. Rob will be around afterwards, so give it up for Rob from Recharge. Thanks so much, Rob. Alright, guys, we have our last and the most boring presentation, and I am fortunate enough to be the one presenting it. So, not so boring, I'm just kidding. I'll call up my good old business partner, Anthony, to help me out. Thank you. Shake hands. Alrighty, so Shopify Plus in 2017 and what it means for you guys as partners and merchants. So, how about we travel a bit into the future? And by the future, I mean the past. So, and what I mean by that is, Shopify has thrown 2 amazing conferences called Shopify Unite, and both years, me, Anthony, and the team have been there to attend. Anthony, you want to press the next button to show where we were? We were right there, up close, and making sure we could pick up as much information to provide as much value. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take you through 4 features, 3 being Shopify Plus, 1 being my favorite, and it's going to transform e-com in general. So let's start off with that. Shopify Pay. Now, out of curiosity, who here is familiar with Shopify Pay? Alright, we got some hands up, we got some hands down. Okay, so Shopify Pay is going to be absolutely fantastic, and let me tell you why. So, typically when a customer goes through their transactional journey, they're brought to the checkout portion where they're, on average, supposed to enter 16 fields. More fields, more problems, and it's contribute to a higher abandoned cart rate. So what Shopify has done is release Shopify Pay. Now here's the cool thing. So what you gotta do is make a purchase on Shopify your first time, and any single Shopify store you visit afterwards, all you have to do is put your phone number in, receive a PIN code, and be able to check out from there. What we're technically doing, and what Shopify is doing, is they're reducing 16 fields and going directly into 2 fields. So in terms of a conversion standpoint, it's a lot quicker to check out, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Go ahead. Now, Shopify Plus wholesale channel. We at Sovi Creative have heard lots of lovely things about wholesale. Now, the past scenario when you're not on Plus is if you have a direct-to-consumer store and you want to go on wholesale, typically the recommendation is clone your store, configure your pricing specifically to that, which is all cool, but at the same time, you have 2 duplicate stores. You need to somehow integrate that seamlessly into one centralized hub where you can see all of your orders, and that's a bit of a pain in the... Alright, so Shopify Plus has released the wholesale channel. This is absolutely fantastic. And what it does is, if you're on Shopify Plus and you want to jump into that wholesale scenario, what you can do is leverage the wholesale channel, be able to upload your products. You can set specific pricing rules for specific clients. You can have specific login pages for users to go in and access that specific wholesale channel, and so much more. Oh, quantity breaks. I love and hate quantity breaks, but wholesale does a great job of being able to configure majority majority of your wholesale needs right out of the box, and do that all within your centralized Shopify Plus environment. So here's a little screenshot. I should have asked you to go into the screenshot, but here's a little bit of a screenshot from one of our clients, starting to leverage it, playing around with it, and it's, in terms of just B2C, B2B, being able to leverage that channel, it's going to do fantastic things for merchants all over the world, so we're super excited for that. All right, let's talk about Launchpad. Now, Launchpad is a really, really cool feature that has been released for Shopify Plus. Now, let's take it to a scenario. You're a brand, you want to do a flash sale, you want to release a product in general. Now, that can be extremely tedious. There's a lot that goes into preparing for a flash sale, preparing for a product launch. And typically what you have to do is you have to be there, prepare, click that button and say, okay, we're live, let's get going. Now, when when Plus offered Launchpad, what you can do is you can actually prepare for those flash sales, those product releases. You have total flexibility of being able to automate as much as you can, be able to have a centralized dedicated landing page. Anthony, mind hitting the next button? Just to be able to see all the metrics that apply. Now, this is a screenshot I pulled right off the Plus channel, but as you can see, what you do is you have amazing metrics. What you can see, you can even see your funnel right off the bat. You can see what's best selling, you can see your average order value, a lot of fantastic metrics. So being able to accommodate that right into a centralized platform in Shopify Plus, and being able to automate those campaigns so you don't have to stay up till like midnight for a massive release in Timbuktu down the road, that's going to be absolutely fantastic, and thank you Shopify Plus for releasing that. All right, next Mr. Anthony, I'm going to stop with this last one. This feature, Flow, it hasn't been released. It's coming in June. Don't blink too quickly because it might be released immediately. But basically what Flow offers is, as we all know, Shopify being a cloud-based software, it's an amazing platform. But when it comes to a workflow when dealing with a merchant or a partner handling merchants' needs, it's not as flexible. So what Flow is going to introduce to all of the merchants and all of the partners is a way to automate administrative tasks within your Shopify dashboard. Now, let me give you an example. A lot of our merchants typically will receive orders, and those orders will be flagged very risky. Now, instead of the merchants that we deal with constantly going in and totally ignoring those super risky purchases, what they can do is they can leverage Flow. There will be a GUI system that allows them to put conditional statements to actually customize their workflow. So in the scenario of high risk in general, what merchants can do is they can say, in their Shopify Plus dashboard, if an order is high risk, completely remove it. So I don't have to go into my dashboard the next day, look at all my orders, and have to remove all the high risk orders that could potentially cause me problems down the road. So what Flow is going to do, it's going to be that next level on top of Shopify Plus that allows you to customize your workflow specifically with the platform, automate it to the best of your ability. And it's, at the end of the day, you don't have to go to a vendor saying, please build me an application that can pretty much handle my workflow in general. This is going to do it all for you. You're probably not going to need a vendor, but if you do, you know I'm standing right here, but you're probably not going to need a vendor. And that's absolutely incredible. So I think those are the 4 major things that I'm absolutely fantastic, and by fantastic I mean ecstatic, to announce today. So just recapping them. Shopify Pay, reducing 16 fields in your checkout to 2 fields, and agnostic through all of the Shopify merchants all over the world. Next we got wholesale. Next, we have being able to attend to all of your flash sale, all of your product needs. And last but not least, Flow, which allows you to automate your administrative tasks right to your dashboard. Is going to be a huge contender when it comes into play around June. So, Anthony? Uno mas? All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I don't want to bore you guys too much, just to give you some interesting value and knowledge. Feel free to visit our site, SoviCreative.com, to find more information about us. And if you're interested and happen to be on Magento and want to move over to Shopify Plus, feel free to go to SoviCreative.com/join+. We have a wicked deal, so if you're interested in it, feel free to talk to us. Feel free to talk to VL Omni. Feel free to talk to Recharge. Feel free to talk to everyone and anyone. Just literally look to your left, look to your right. We have an amazing group. And last but not least, we have some amazing Shopify Plus swag right over there behind my main man, Mac. So if you want to drink some coffee, read the amazing Grow Volume 3, I believe. There's lots of awesome swag. So that's it for us today. Thank you guys so much. We'll be around for another half an hour or an hour, so feel free to mingle, grab another drink, grab some food. You are all beautiful people, and thank you so much to Avalera, VL Omni, Recharge Payments, and Sovi Creative. Thank you guys so much.